Yeah, so another topic I wanted to discuss since Vasilios is here um, is this impending release of Roaster. Um, so, not don't want to get into the technical weeds on this call. More interested in, is this a minor release or a release? Are we going to do any kind of announcements, press release? Is Oasis marketing aware to post it on socials, etc.? I just want to make sure we take, opportunity when we do releases, that people know about it.
I
And is
do
there
believe,
anything we should be doing with
uh,
the Sorka guys as well, since it's tied to Sorka? Sorry, go ahead, Vasilis.
yeah, so I do believe that some publicity needs to follow. It is a major release, so as we were waiting for so long time to accumulate, a list of bugs, fix them. But as I said, the most important thing is the new feature that it can connect now seamlessly with Soarca. We have created, let's say, um, um, I will call it a loose integration, but it's still a tight integration, right? So what I'm saying is that basically you can just assign an IP and a port to the interface of the roster and can connect with a Soarca backend, right? Wherever that is. Of course, you might need to authenticate. That's another thing, right? And it can execute basically what Swarka is able to execute. So this integration does not support all the features of Kakao. But when you start using this integration, the interface will constrain you on what objects and what specific commands or agents you can use. So there is a lot of work ongoing. Um, this is what is going to be released right now in the next few days. Matthews is wrapping this up, and then I don't know the exact process with the technical steering committee, right? How it works there uh, to have this published and approved on our GitHub. But publicity is an important factor. Regarding Soarca, in the past, we tried to attract TNO to sponsor Soarca here at OCA, but basically it didn't work because there is a European, let's call it alternative that they sponsor. It's called the COSAS initiative or project, COSSAS. Yeah, and they publish their tools there. Nevertheless, we have a good collaboration with them, and we can follow with a blog post through Oasis. But it will be good also to involve TNO or have a, let's call it, a series of blog posts. One with from Oasis, one independent with TNO that we can publish on LinkedIn, something like this. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
yes, like that's why I wanted to bring it up. Like, because if you know if TNO, if we can write a blog post that kind of introduces the release and why it's important and the features and stuff, then all the different organizations can reshare it, and we can get more eyeballs on the work that's being done. So I just wanted to make sure, that we were going to do that, and that you know that Oasis was aware. It's great that Jim's here because now he's hearing it firsthand, so he's the but yeah. So um so is there anything, Vasilius, you need, or are you guys running with that? um
Not yet. We haven't started yet, but I think we'll take responsibility of writing the blog post, and then we'll just bother Claudia, if I'm not mistaken, right, to follow up with that.
Claudia, okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys send me just a link to whatever tooling we're talking about here?
Oh yeah, sorry, Jim. So this is so one of the OCA projects is called Cacao Roaster,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
a tool. it's a tool for the cacao standard. So the cacao is
Okay.
a TC, so it's not in OCA,
Yep.
but OCA owns the code project called Roaster, which is a UI that you
Okay.
use to build the playbooks.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
And that's mainly it's an OCA project. It's mainly staffed by Vasilios' folks, and TNO sponsors it.
Okay.
I was wondering, Vasilios, I heard from Brett earlier that there is a new version of Cacao being published soon. Do you know much about that, and do you have plans to support that in Roaster?
Ooh, that's a good question. What can I say now? I mean, basically the new release that will come out soon, the latest specification, in, incorporates so many new things. So there are so many breaking changes there. I'm not sure what would that entail in terms of coding. Uh, yeah, so I don't have an answer yet about that. It depends on our resources. So, literally speaking, if we get some kind of a European project that wants to utilize an orchestration service, we could do that. Otherwise, I think it will be an enormous effort. I'll need to consult with Mateus to see, what would entail to update the roster to support a new version of Kakao. But there are massive changes there. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, have you seen the new spec?
News back?
The new Cacao spec, the new spec version or draft of that?
So, what was your question exactly? I mean,
Oh, have you had a chance to review the new Cacao
yes,
specification?
yes. So, I mean, there are so many changes, from uh, agents and targets to commands and variables. Scoping has changed. I mean, more or less, there are changes in every, let's say, conceptual layer in Kakao. So, especially regarding variables, scoping, how things going in and out, inputs and outputs through variables, uh, commands, agents and targets. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
We are also going to incorporate the layout extension. Basically, that was previously an extension, a Kakao extension, how we lay out playbooks on a canvas. So this is going to be part of the specification. And there is also a discussion. I'm not yet sure if I fully agree with that, but there is also discussion in incorporating a modeling notation. Basically, the shapes and the size of the shapes, to be used for modeling the playbooks. So something like BPMN, which again that would make life more difficult while implementing these things, especially if you have an existing tool. So I don't see the benefit, to be honest, but yeah.
So is
Uh,
is that that's more of a visual layout issue, is it? Just having
yes, exactly. So we
okay.
have the let's call it the specification for how to put the objects on the canvas. So basically, let's call it the serialization. We have the serialization, but now they want also to mess with the graphical representation per se. So how the objects will look like,
Yeah,
in
so
the
like
eyes of human
diamonds or
beings. So
squares or how does it
exactly, exactly,
render in BPMN
exactly,
style? Yeah, gotcha.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, okay, sorry, I don't want to any more comments on that. I don't want to interrupt you guys' conversation, but like the main thing I wanted to make sure we align on is like make sure that when we do the release that we get some attention to the release. So
You'll
One other
coordinate with
top,
Claudia on that, or how does that normally work? Press.
well, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, how does the press work? I mean, how do you normally, who do you coordinate with normally on that? Claudia?
I wouldn't think that there is a normal procedure. That's kind of the point of the, we do a variety of different things. So in the past, so we did for a while have a marketing subcommittee, and we'd work a lot with Jane, on things like that to try to coordinate. That committee, we've kind of just merged it and taken over that as part of the PGP now. There's not like a separate meeting for that. And you know, if it is a major release, then yes, we have done press releases in the past
Okay,
for major new releases of things like Stick Shifter and whatnot. So
okay.
I mean, I think it's the marketing team's kind of call, because I mean, I'm not a marketing expert. I don't know the
Sure,
criteria for
sure.
when we do releases or not. But if it's a major release, Vasilios with extended functionality and Sorka, like to me, that's why I was kind of saying, like, should we coordinate with them? Because we could do a joint press release, because we could essentially, the way it could work in my head, again, not as the marketing person, is we do the press release, here's the new feature, all this, whatever, and there would be a quote. The quote would be from Sorka, we're happy, we're super excited about this. And you could have a quote from TNO, whatever, we're pleased to support this work. What do you
Okay.
think, Vasilios?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, I agree.
So, Mary Beth obviously is the one that's going to be sending out press releases and such, but whoever your primary staff contact, it's probably Claudia or maybe Kelly. I guess Kelly was filling in for Claudia, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah. So,
Claudia is the staff contact for the
okay.
OCA.
So Claudia will probably have the best context of cacao and roaster and those things and be able to figure out. And she'll coordinate with Mary Beth to actually post it. So that sounds good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's a great, these things are really important to celebrate and broadcast. So we had one other topic that Claudia brought up as well, which is, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Xiaoquei made it today, so I don't know if we're going to be able to discuss it. There was so we've been looking for another maintainer for the Stick Shifter project, and we did get a reach out from Red Hat, that they were going to be setting up a meeting with Derek from IBM to talk about, being the second maintainer on that project. So that's fantastic. But Xiaoquei isn't here, so we can't really get an update on that. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to ping him and see if maybe this, I don't know, maybe this isn't on his calendar, because he hasn't made it to the past couple of sessions. So I don't know if maybe he's missed the calendar update. We should check in on that. Um, but other than that, I don't have any, there's no major impending, program management things that we've been working on for the OCA. I don't know if anyone has any specific topics around, papers that they've been looking to submit, or any other questions on updates on some of the projects they wanted to bring up. One other topic we were talking about before the call started being recorded is whether or not we want to either move or do anything with the January meeting, because right now, according to our regular schedule, there's a call schedule for January 2nd. And, given the way that the holidays are lining up right now, it's probably going to be a lot of people won't be around on January 2nd. But wanted to see, should we reschedule that, or do something with it. The December call in general looks good because we're at the very top of the month, first week, so shouldn't be too many issues with that one. But January looks a little problematic.
So I'd propose we either push it by a week or just skip it altogether.
Why don't we
Yeah.
push it by a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agreed. Let's do that. We'll push it by a week. I don't think we should skip it. But we'll push it out a week.
Jason, I have one more thing if you kind of done what you guys are going to do today. So just a little board update, and Jason knows this, Basilius knows this, but I think maybe it's relevant to you guys. We are starting a product subcommittee on the board to look at basically what we have as far as technical committees, what we have as open projects, and to capture some lessons learned on both sides about, what's working, what's not working, how we can better support our TCs and our open projects. Obviously OCA is an example of a project that, at one point was much bigger than it is today. And we're trying to figure out what does that mean? What does it mean for sustaining the project and continuing to generate interest? Is there a path to maybe make OCA more sustainable in the long term, right? And my point is that it isn't just OCA. There's other projects as well that we want to capture lessons learned. I would encourage you guys to keep meeting in the next couple of months, because I think we're going to be coming back to you guys with some questions and some maybe surveys or something just to collect some information to feed that process, right? So yeah, I would not like you guys to take a pause for the next two months, because I think soon we're going to be asking for your help in providing some guidance to the board about what we do with these kind of projects, for the future. So.
Yeah, that's good guidance.
Mhm.
Did anyone have any other topics they wanted to raise or discuss today? Terrence, did you have anything? Sorry, I didn't want to put you on the spot. Just making sure that we're not missing any comments from anybody. Oh, maybe he stepped away. Anything from anyone else? Any impending, CFPs or papers that we want to consider trying to get some resources behind submitting something for the group, or no?
Maybe Jason, we should take an action to make a list of upcoming events for next year with CFPs where we could actually submit something, just so we've got some targets to consider.
Yeah, I have an active list like that for my company. So like, yeah, I'm happy to share it. We can, try to organize some stuff for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a board we can maybe try and figure out like what's appropriate, what can we resource, where do we want to focus our effort if we want to submit to some CFPs for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We don't need to, we can give everyone back about 15 minutes then. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks for letting me sit in,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.